Hmm. Some of you are standing in a quiet moment right now. And this is not because there's nothing happening, but because something already ended. And you can feel it in your body, even if your mind hasn't caught up yet. But this is a little different because there's no emergency, there's no chaos, it's just space. And that space feels unfamiliar. Hello, beautiful ones. I'm Cindy, astrologer, mystic, and your guide through the stars. And welcome to Forecast the Shift Timelines. This is where we don't just talk about what's happening in the sky, we talk about what it's doing inside you. And this episode is for the final threshold week of 2025, a week that doesn't look dramatic on the outside, but quietly determines how you step in to 2026. Now, before we go deeper, I want to name something because this matters for how you listen today. Everything I'm about to talk about, this way of stabilizing before life accelerates, this way of helping the body feel safe enough to receive, this is the foundation of the work that I do inside the Inner Pathway membership and in my private work with clients through what I call guided journey. Because some transitions don't need more information. What they need is to be walked slowly with support in a way your nervous system can actually trust. And I'll share more about that later, but I want you to hear today's message first as guidance. So, beautiful ones, this year asked a lot of you. It wasn't in a loud, obvious way, but in quiet ones. They were ongoing. You showed up when you were tired. You kept things together when parts of your life felt so uncertain. You learned how to be realistic when what you were really doing was protecting yourself. Some of you planned less because disappointment hurt way too much. Some of you celebrated quietly because joy felt fragile. This wasn't because you lacked faith. It was because your body learned how to survive. In 2025, it didn't end things loudly. It didn't slam doors. It didn't explode relationships. It let things fade. Like a connection that slowly went quiet, or a dream that stopped responding when you reached out for it, or a version of yourself that couldn't keep pretending anymore. And for many of you, the hardest part wasn't the ending. For many of you, it was not knowing what would come next, not knowing what version of you would be needed after everything you used to brace against disappeared. And now things feel quieter. No crisis, there's no chaos, just space. But here's what no one really tells you. When survival ends, the body doesn't just relax right away. So you find yourself waiting for the email, waiting for the call, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Your nervous system hasn't updated yet. It's still living in a chapter that is already closed. But I want you to know this isn't the calm before something goes wrong. This, beautiful one, is the calm after something has already ended. What ended this year wasn't your future. What ended this year was the version of you that believed collapse was inevitable. And that matters because what's coming next moves very differently. Now, here's where I want to be very clear with you. I don't want to be dramatic or fear-based. I just want to be honest with you. What's unfolding in 2026, it doesn't move slowly. Things are coming in quicker. Opportunities will appear or are appearing with less warning. Conversations happen sooner than you expect. So for some of you, that looks like maybe an offer that asks you to step forward before you feel ready. For others, a relationship that moves faster than you're used to. Money, visibility, and responsibility increasing like all at once. A door opening that you didn't plan for, but you recognize it immediately. And here's the part that matters most. If your nervous system, I want you to listen to me, if your nervous system is still braced for impact, then those moments won't feel like opportunities. Those moments will feel overwhelming. Not because they're wrong or because you're not meant for them. No, but because your body is still preparing for loss instead of allowing for expansion. This is why this week matters. Because when life starts moving faster, and it will, whatever is stabilized will stay. And whatever is unstable gets amplified, which means things can come in and then leave just as quickly. This week isn't asking you to decide where you're going. This week is asking whether your system, your nervous system, is ready to hold what's already on its way. So when I talk about stabilization, I don't mean stopping your life. I mean teaching your body that it doesn't have to brace anymore, that it doesn't have to scan for what might go wrong the moment something good happens. Because when the body feels safe, opportunity doesn't feel like a threat. It feels more like movement. So let's bring this into the body for a moment. As you're listening right now, I want you to notice what isn't collapsing. Notice the chair that's holding you, the floor beneath your feet, the breath that keeps arriving without effort. Let your body register something important. Nothing is asking you to brace. Nothing is about to fall apart. And when the body begins to agree with safety, then receiving no longer requires you to be scanning. You don't have to check for that catch. You don't have to stay on guard. This is the internal shift this week offers. Not action, not decisions, but settlement. And this is exactly why I created Guided Journey. This is where I work one-on-one with clients, because there are moments in life where the old way of moving no longer works, but the new way hasn't fully landed yet. So Guided Journey is a 6-month where we're walking that threshold together at a pace your nervous system can trust, with space to stabilize, integrate, and anchor. So what arrives can actually stay. Now, I only work with a few people at a time. And right now, there are only 2 spaces available for the next 6 months. So if something in your body is responding as I speak, You'll find my email in the description below. And when you email, just write guided journey in the subject line and tell me a little about where you are and why this timing matters. There's no pressure, just resonance. This isn't the week to push forward. It's the week to start preparing for impact and let your system learn that the ground is solid now. You don't have to chase what's coming. All you have to do is to be able to stand when it arrives. Because it is arriving. So until next time, beautiful ones, remember, keep your frequency clear, your choices intentional, and your heart in the flow.